Welcome back, guys. I'm Rick, the Honest Mechanic, and thanks for joining me today. Behind me, I've got my 1978 Glendale motorhome. We're going to do some work today. Check the links up here. I've got a road trip video. It was definitely interesting when I got it here. We had some overheating issues when it came to the transmission. We know that now. We had some sticky brakes in the front, which we're going to tackle. So if you want to see all that and more, stick around. Alright, so let's jump right in. Let's see if I can do like a NASCAR style wheel change. I'm going to take all these out as quick as I can. You guys got the timer going? Alright. Ready? Here we go. Oh, I got the wrong setting. Oh no. There we go. That's better. This is real time. Come on, get out of there. We'll just get to. Oh no, come on. Get out. Get out. How'd I do? How'd I do? Not bad. I mean, definitely not NASCAR, but so we got it off the ground, and you can tell she's free-ish right now, but this brake in particular was getting hot. I mean, there was definitely some smoke coming out of it, so let's see how much damage we've caused by driving on it. Hopefully not too much. Uh-oh. Kind of figured that was going to happen. Let's give it a good kick here. Oh, really? Uh-oh. Okay. Let's go get a hammer. Okay, so we got our hammer. Let's see if we get this loosened off. Oh, she's on there. Okay, come on. Maybe on the inside? Awesome. Awesome. Doesn't want to go anywhere. Aha! I knew I'd get it eventually. Alright, let's see what's in here. Okay. Well, there's definitely a lot of pad left. Definitely a lot of pad. So that's really good. But I've got a feeling the caliper may be frozen and we may have a check valve line. I hope that's not the case either. So, let's go hit the brakes and see if it comes loose or if it tightens up again. Okay, what did you see? Did you see anything moving, guys? Oh, that's really odd. Okay, so let's just clean this up anyways. So we're going to remove I'm going to remove the caliper and see what happens from there. Okay guys, so I've been staring at this caliper for a few minutes trying to figure out how to remove it, and I think I just figured it out. And if it's right, it's got to be the easiest caliper to take apart so far, if I am right. You just have to remove this one bolt and then take out this little clip, and it should come right out like this. So let's find out, because there's no other bolts on this, and let's hope that, okay, there we go. Let's hope it removes, but it came out just nice. Oh yeah, look, it's been lubricated. Someone has been taking care of this thing, which I love to see. Look at that. Plenty of anti-seize on there. And, oh yeah, of course, I forgot to bring a small hammer. But I still got Big Bertha over here. Can I get this out? No. Let's go get a small hammer. That's the only downfall of working outside. You're constantly going in and out, getting your tools. Which way does it slide? Does it slide this way, maybe? Nope. Let's go this way. Okay. Now, from the looks of it, there is a little bit of NECs on this component as well. This is giant compared to what I'm used to working on. There we go. Free it up a little bit. Then she should come right out. Aha. Oh my lord. Look at this thing. It's huge. Oh my god, it's heavy. Okay. There you go. Okay, I was right. It's like the simplest setup ever. I kind of like it. The pads are extremely meaty still, even though they were causing some smoke. So that's good. So I'm going to clean it up. And from what I can tell, this caliper slides back and forth right up in here. Now, if we're lucky, maybe all it was is because of this rust. So I'm going to clean it up with some sandpaper. And then we're going to do both sides like this. What I am also going to do is I'm going to apply the brakes without the pads in place, only one pump, just to get this piston to come out. Because if the piston has sat for a little while, I'm hoping to maybe free it up. So I'm going to take it out, push it back in, maybe do that twice or 3 times, put it back together, and hope that that is the problem for at least the front here on the brake side. Okay, so I've determined that it's exactly what I thought it was. The caliper is seized. I've gone inside with the caliper open like this. I had to start the engine and actually really reef onto the brakes in order to make it pop out. So it's not good. That should actually come out really easy without the engine even running. And now there is nothing I can do to release that. So there's one of 2 things it could be. It could actually be the caliper, like I think it is, or it could be a check valved line, meaning that the line only flows one direction because it could be collapsed internally. Easiest way to determine that is we're going to have to remove the caliper and try and check it on the bench. That's going to probably make a big mess. So I've got some trays here, and while I was at it, I found a whole bunch of grease fittings, so I hit them all up. So let's see if I can get this caliper loosened off. Got a little bit of spray. It's been sitting for a little bit. Hopefully this will come loose. Oh no. I'm gonna have to get a bigger gun. Okay, so let's try it with a slightly bigger impact. I want to not break this. I'm going to dial this down to first setting and see. That's all it needed. Just a little bit more. There we go. Get the banjo bolt out of the way. And hopefully be able to remove the line without breaking it. There we go. It was just a little bit stuck. And we don't have too much fluid. So it may in fact be this line. Well, let's start off with what I said earlier. Let's bring this caliper back to where it should be and see if that is the issue. Ooh, look at all this fluid. I don't want that on my bricks. So I've removed the caliper. I was able to get it into the vise here, and it easily pushed back in. So that tells me that the caliper is good, which is really good news because that would be probably a little bit more money than just a hose. It's been a few days since I've removed the caliper, and I have absolutely nothing coming out of this flex hose. So that tells me that that's a good indication that this hose is in fact, bad. So I'm going to replace the hose. Like I said earlier, I'm going to do the same thing to both sides. I'm going to paint up the caliper since I've got them out, and then we're going to move on to the back brakes. Okay, so just as a little demonstration here, this is not scientific by any stretch of the imagination, but this is the old flex line that was holding my brake, keeping it tight. This is a new one. I think right here is the problem, where this has obviously been rusted down, and it feels to me, and if you look really closely, that it's built up a little bit of rust around here and constricted the line. And as a visual test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my air gun here and I'm going to blow some air through one line and through the other, and hopefully you guys will see in the camera that this one is blowing air through it and this one is actually blowing air back. So let's check this out. So it's actually not allowing air in, and if I do the same test with this line, there's plenty of air going through. So we now know that the lines are in fact the issue and not the calipers. Okay, so just out of curiosity, for my own sake, I cut the bracket off of this particular line that was, which we just tested, completely jammed up. Now check this out. Ooh, got some coming back on me, but you guys can see the fluid that was left over. So there's actually, in fact, nothing wrong with this line now, other than the restriction being caused by that bracket. So now you guys know. And now it's time to properly mount the battery. So to get it here, I just used a ratchet strap. Did okay. I'm gonna have to use this chunk of wood because I'm mounting the battery rather than this way. I'm gonna be mounting it vertically, or sorry, side to side. So in order to make it happen and make it stay in place, I'm gonna have to make a battery holder, and I'm gonna use this rod, which used to be an old lawnmower handle. You know, the one that you let go to make the lawnmower stop? Yeah, that one. So I'm just gonna straighten it out. These marks are just for my bend, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount it. I have to drill a small hole here. That's gonna sit inside the hole there. I'm going to bend it over the battery, and then probably using, that bolt right there to secure it. Probably have to weld maybe a washer at the end of the rod after I cut it down to size. But I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. There you go. With a little bit of ingenuity, we got her in place. She's nice and tight, not going to move. And like I said, I've got this bolted down there. All I had to do is cut the end of that rod, put a washer on the end, welded, and then it just goes right down to the bottom there. She's secure. So let's move on to the next item. Okay guys, so it's been a couple of days since I've last worked on the good old motorhome here. I've been busy actually working on the Subaru, which I drove to work today, which, by the way, if you haven't seen that, I could just link the video. It works fantastic, except for my AC. Not quite sure what's going on there. But anyways, let's go back to here. The plan for right now, is I want to replace the water pump, because the engine wasn't running hot, but what it was doing is it was dripping. As soon as it would get warm, I've been playing around with it, moving it in the yard, and as soon as the engine gets warm, I get a drip coming out the bottom end here, and if I follow it, it goes right to the telltale on the water pump. And this is what I have to deal with, is the water pump, which is right down below here. Not going to be fun. Not going to be fun at all. So I'm going to have to drain out, obviously, some coolant for that. Get rid of the shroud. Remove the fan. So I'm going to give you guys as much visibility as possible. I'm going to see if I can set up my camera maybe some way like this, so you can kind of see what I'm doing, but I'm going to put it on high speed. because this thing is a little bit heavy. Straight out. There we go. Awesome. So that'll give us access to removing the shroud here. We gotta get this out of the way. Shroud around the fan. Come up like that. And now we're going to have to undo the fan to get access to the water pump. Alright, so now with the fan removed and the belt out of the way here, we should be able to zip off a couple of bolts here. Sorry about the lighting, not very good underneath this whole old hood, but see if we can get these off. Right here. All right. Ooh, a little bit of water coming out. Oh, making a mess. Oh well, we'll clean it up after. It's on the cardboard. Oh yes, good old cast iron pump. Whoa, definitely making a mess. There we go. Now she's empty. Look at this thing. Original GM written right on there. Doesn't look too bad, but it was leaking. Actually, there's a telltale, and there it was leaking right up there. When you guys see that water or coolant coming out of here, tells you the mechanical seal inside. She's done. So let's install a new one. And here's a new one. Definitely a little bit lighter because these are made of cast aluminum now. The kit came with our 2 seals. So let's get this one installed. And last bolt. There we go. Nice and snug. Okay, let's get the fan on there. Let's get the radiator back in. Oh, sometimes I wonder, guys, maybe I'm working a little bit too fast, too many projects on the go, but next time, if you guys are doing this job, pay attention, because these studs need to be reused from this particular water pump to the new water pump. So I'm going to take all these off, put them all on the other water pump, and of course that one's already installed. So here we go. Alright, last one. Alright, so I got the fan installed. Nice new water pump down below, of course. But before we install the radiator, I figured, why not blow it out? And this, I stopped the video, of course, part way through, because this is what I found. Oh, it's too bad the camera didn't do that any justice, because let me tell you guys, you have to take my word for it, that radiator, or this radiator, was just nasty. I mean, now if we look, we can actually see through the fins. If I shine my light behind there, much better. So we're gonna have a lot better cooling. I did the small transmission cooler while I was at it. This one here is like, wasn't that bad. This one here was already pretty clean, but that's going to do a lot for, like I say, for some of the cooling that we were having trouble with. Okay guys, it's been a couple of days. My home life has been a little bit busier than I'd like it to be, so I've been kind of tinkering away here and there. Not really enough time to make a video on it, but I've got the new water pump installed. The fan is back in place, the shroud is in place, the radiator's in place, as well as the transmission cooler.
And I think I may have found one of the issues that we were having with the transmission running so hot, and that was that these two hoses may have been pinched. I didn't pay attention taking it apart, but I'm making sure now that they're not pinched, and I can't see that they wouldn't have been because of the routing. If I remember correctly, they were running down here below the battery, and if that's the case, there's not much room, so I think they were pinched off a little bit, probably causing a little bit of heat due to the lack of circulation. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill the radiator with some coolant, and I don't like to buy pre-mixed coolant because, well, I'm just cheap. I'm on a budget. So what I want to show you guys is you can just buy the pure stuff and you can mix it yourself. All you need to do is go buy one of these little gadgets, little hydrometer, a couple of bucks at the auto parts store, and what you're going to do is there's this little you can go by what they say in the back here, which is give or take 50-50. So 50% water, 50% solution or glycol. But you're going to take this, you're going to squeeze the bulb, suck up some coolant, and then you're going to follow this fluid level line here. Extract some of it right about there. And there's also a little gauge up here. You don't want it this way or the other way, because that's going to obviously affect the reading. So right somewhere along there, and you're going to read where this arrow points. So we're sitting right around minus 43 degrees Celsius. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, minus 43 degrees Celsius, I mean, this thing is in the Arctic, which you're absolutely right. But if you flip it around, it also tells you at this point the boiling point of the fluid. So the higher the freezing point is also the higher the boiling point. So we're sitting somewhere along 131 degrees Celsius, which is give or take 65-ish Fahrenheit. So I would rather keep it on the high side of things, and that's where I like to mix it myself, because I can keep it a little bit higher and gain a little bit more boiling point and freezing point, because when you buy it, it's 50-50, so you're going to get just about minus 37. So I'm going to go get myself a funnel, pour some of this in there, fire it up, and wait for the thermostat to open. Oh, and just when I thought I was done, like, look at this, guys. This is just unreal. I guess when I was fumbling around with that water pump, the gasket didn't actually sit properly, and now it's just spewing out as quick as I can put it in. So, oh my god, I gotta do this again. I am so tired right now. Oh, this project is becoming a nightmare. Well, let's try this again. Alright guys, like I said earlier, I'm exhausted. I'm going to end the video here. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Still got a bunch of work to do. I've been working at this for about 2 weeks now, trying to get it to the point I have. I still got to go bring it in for its mechanical. Then it needs to get a propane certification. So stay tuned for that. But I do have a few little projects I can do when it's out on the rack over there doing their thing. So I got another video coming for those 2-3 little projects. And again, sorry I couldn't get it to fire up one more time. I want to clean the carburetor, rebuild that possibly. So again, stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.